Hey, hi, and good morning, everyone. Great to be here with you today. So, before starting the session, I would like to mention a few points, some soft instructions to make today's session a little smoother. So, all attendees are muted by default and cannot be unmuted during the session. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. If in case you have any questions in between, you can raise an electronic hand to grab our attention, or you can ask the question through the question and answer session. So that's the context, and now coming back to your today's topic, which is going to be around how AWS migration and modernization accelerate the business transformation. So before we kick off, I would like to quickly introduce who you're spending time with today. So it's Kuldeep here, and I work with businesses like yours to harness the cloud native technologies and achieve the measurable business impact. So over the next 45 minutes, we will explore real world examples, industry specific use cases, and tangible outcomes to see how these technologies are translating into impact for the businesses like yours. By the end of this session, you'll exactly see why this shift isn't just a technology upgrade, and it's a complete competitive advantage. So let's dive in for the today's session. Yeah. So firstly, we will see why we will talk about cloud.in, who we are, how we help businesses achieve tangible outcomes for their businesses, and how we are excelling particularly in that area. So we are cloud.in and advanced consulting partners of AWS for last 10 years now. We are a successful, trusted, and forward-looking organization. We've worked hand in hand with AWS to bring a greater value to our customers, helping them transform and scale with the confidence. So our strength lies in our elite team of 75 plus AWS certified professionals, collectively holding over 100 plus certifications, including experts with professional and specialty accreditations. So this depth of expertise allows us to tackle complex cloud challenges across the industries. So we've also successfully migrated and optimized more than 250 workloads, cloud workloads, enabling businesses to unlock scalability, operational efficiency, and innovation. So today we support 100 plus customers on their cloud transformation journeys, ensuring they maximize the value of AWS. But we do not stop at the migration. We ensure uninterrupted operations through our 24/7 network operations center and security operations centers. By proactively managing performance, security, compliance, we make sure that your infrastructure remains resilient, optimized, and future ready. So you can focus on the growth and innovation rather than just firefighting about the IT issues and IT operations. So now let's talk about what sets us apart when it comes to AWS expertise. So how we do that is basically we cater to the different industries and different sectors and segments across the industry segments that we have. So, typically we cater to the businesses across the services that we typically cater to the businesses. So yeah, so look, having a glance at the services, we have implementation and migration services, managed services, cloud consulting and advisory, reselling and billing services, application services, CDN and edge services, cost optimization, resource augmentation, and generative AI services. So when we say cloud consulting and advisory over here, so we guide businesses through their cloud journey, aligning AWS solutions with strategic goals for efficiency, scalability, and innovation. When we say managed services, we provide proactive monitoring, optimization, and 24/7 operational support to ensure high availability and peak performance. So similarly, when we talk about reselling and billing services, we provide GST compliant solutions to businesses, enabling them to apply for the input credits that they have and also enabling some flat discounts for the AWS billing consumptions on a monthly basis. So, and to talk about the extremely trending technology and service that we have, which is generative AI services. We optimize AI-driven workloads with the AWS SageMaker, Bedrock, and advanced analytics solutions like Redshift, Athena, and Kinesis, ensuring seamless performance, scalability, and cost efficiency. So that is our portfolio of the services that we help with the business, that we help businesses to achieve the outcomes. So here, as mentioned earlier, we are an AWS Advanced Consulting partners. We also are reselling and billing partners for Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, and GeoCloud, providing multi-cloud expertise to meet diverse business needs. For specialized security solutions, we partner with F5, Checkpoint, and Fortinet, as they are in the leaders in security services, ensuring the robust protection across cloud environments. So we have also forged strategic alliances with New Relic for its advanced observability capabilities, with Dsrua for enterprise-grade data protection. We have VMware for cloud infrastructure modernization, and we've partnered with Confluent for the real-time data streaming. So these partnerships empower us to deliver end-to-end cloud solutions, helping businesses secure and optimize at scale. Yeah. So recently we talked about the services that we offer to the industries, but across what industries and across what segment we do that. So here's the just glance about it. Every industry has the unique challenges, and that's where we bring our deep expertise in. So when we talk about the industries, we have media and entertainment. We cater to e-commerce. We are also providers of information technology. We also have our footprint established in public sector, automobile, edtech and institutions, FMCG, financial services, pharma and healthcare, manufacturing, non-profit organizations, and startups as well. So for healthcare, security and compliance are non-negotiable. So we help organizations build secure, compliant, and cloud infrastructure for their EHR systems, telemedicine, and diagnostics, so they can focus on patient care without worrying about the infrastructure. Similarly, in financial services, uptime, security, and compliances are critical. So we architect high performance and regulatory compliant infrastructures that power everything from digital banking to product analytics, ensuring reliability at the scales. So from whether it's a compliant driven industries like healthcare and finance, or high speed high demand sectors like media and retail, we ensure that businesses get the most out of it: security, efficiency, and scale. So here, coming back to our topic and what we are going to cover in the next 45 minutes is, we will be having a look at why business transformation matters, how AWS migration and modernization solve these challenges, what are the current challenges in the legacy systems and on-premise data center and the workloads that they are hosting upon the on-premise data centers. So why legacy systems are holding you back for your business, why AWS migration and modernization is required. Again, the key services of AWS that are essential when we talk about the migration and modernization. Why the modernization is the cloud native innovation. Cloud migration use cases and impact. The business impact of cloud migration and modernization. Again, security, compliance, and best practices in the cloud, and innovating with the cloud native architectures. We're going to see also the real world use cases, success stories, and insights from the past experiences that Cloud.in has encountered with. And why move to AWS is a strategic advantage for your business and not just an enabler. So getting started with AWS journey roadmap, and how it will enable you for the for achieving the business values and business transformation. So here, what we are going to cover in this slide is why business transformation matters. So, for an instance, we have a growing electronic supplier is trying to serve more customers, but their old IT setup is slowing them down. Here's what they face is basically, so they typically come across inefficient systems. Their apps and databases take too long to respond. That frustrates users and employees. So typically it reduces the customer experiences, and that is what cloud infrastructure is built for. It enables you to improve your customer experience and elevate that. Apart from that, we have a higher cost associated with on-premise data center and legacy systems, limited flexibility that that's the blocker in rolling out the new features or scaling to the handle the more customers, handling the more traffic, which takes weeks, not just hours. And that is what cloud infrastructure brings in. So it eliminates the new feature rollouts that takes weeks and enable you to do that within few hours and not just taking the few weeks. So complex infrastructure management is one of the typical blocker that we see in legacy systems and on-premise data centers. So typically IT team spends more times on fixing the existing problems that they have, and troubleshooting the systems, and handling the complex operations, provisioning, configurations, instead of just building the new solutions and the new systems for the IT teams and for the customers. That exactly matters. So talking about higher cost, maintaining old servers and software, it's more money that could be spent on the growth. Security headaches, so old systems are harder to protect from cyber threats, putting customer data at risk. If you talk about that, for an instance, let's say if a small configuration can lead to a significant downtime for your on-premise data centers, or maybe the legacy systems that you have. Again, we have modern systems, modern technologies that are evolving and growing at a fast rate, and keeping at the edge with those particular services. Integration challenges are one of the significant blockers of legacy systems. Connecting with the old systems with modern apps or analytics tools is messy and slow, and it's more time consuming. That blocks the innovation velocity of the organization. So without modernizing the infrastructure, the emerging supplier, this service provider, can't move fast. So innovate fast or maybe compete effectively with other businesses or competitors. So here, how AWS migration and modernization solve these challenges. Here's how this growing company and electronic supplier and service provider modernize its IT with AWS. That is something that adds value from the cloud infrastructure and business advantages perspective standpoint. So moving to the cloud, AWS migration. What it does is, what it enables is, it shapes the applications and databases to Amazon Amazon EC2, that is Elastic Compute, IDS, the database services, and S3. So which results in the faster systems, lower hardware cost, and easier scalings. So when we talk about the EC2, IDS, and S3, these are the purpose-built systems of AWS to provide your workloads the capability to manage your systems to run at the optimized speed, securely, and at a scale. Again, modernize applications onto AWS, which involves rebuilding the applications using the AWS Lambda, which is called a serverless technology, and Amazon the containerized systems that we have in Amazon ECS and Amazon EKS. So what it does is it results in faster feature releases and higher flexibilities. Basically, when we talk about that, there's a very specific example of that. Let's say you are an e-commerce system and you are running an high business critical application on the on-premise data center, but let's say for some reason you have your application down and the users are not able to access your application. Contrastingly, what EKS or EKS or serverless technology enables for your business is basically you have a few features. Out of few features, let's say that the one feature is down or crashed, the other features will be intact for your users to access, and that minimizes the impact of your downtime and your crashes that's going to happen for the system or for the application. That is the kind of flexibility the cloud infrastructure brings in for your systems. So again, what it enables is it automates and secures and analyze the analyze the data basically. So using the AWS CloudWatch, AWS CloudFormation for automation, implementation of the AWS IAM, identity and access management, WAF shield for security, that is going to be application firewall. That results in particularly reduce the manual effort, protecting the apps for databases and smarter business decisions. So by migrating and modernizing with AWS, the company now operates efficiently, innovates freely, and scales safely. So we will have to talk about the current challenges in legacy system when we talk about migrate and modernize and transform the businesses using the AWS and using the cloud infrastructure. Data migration and integrations, cost resource constraints. So there are these key challenges in legacy application, and that hinders the modernization of the systems. Basically, typically we have some sort of technical debts and legacy code complexity that exhibits for your team to release the software features faster, roll out the feature faster, enhance the software development life cycles, and prevent the data losses and corruption risks for your critical and customer facing data that can that brings in the risk associated with the data losses and corruption risk basically. So integration with newer systems and which enables your business to generate the insights faster using the data that you have, which is on the higher scale. The volume of the data is vast, and leveraging the data and generate the insights from that scaled data is going to be always difficult and a tough operation for your IT teams. So their cloud infrastructure comes into picture, and it helps you to enable the faster and accurate insights from the vast amounts of data that you have. That is the key differentiator from the on-premise data center legacy systems, and over that migrating and modernizing with AWS and adapting to the cloud technologies and trending technologies like data analytics, AI, which is artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So to talk about key challenges that holds you back for your legacy systems and on-premise data centers is basically there are certain pillars, and we can measure those particular holdbacks in terms of the pillars that we have. We have performance, we have cost, we have scalability, security, operational and operations management, and integration and analytics. So if we talk about the technical pain point standpoint, when we talk about performance, it triggers in a real time that it could be associated with slow applications, long database queries, frequent downtime under the load. It prohibits you to deliver your content to your customers in a real time. It takes a longer queries, and typically it associated with the frequent downtimes. So when we talk about the costs, it requires the high maintenance of old servers, renovation of the existing infrastructure and innovation cycles, It typically includes the software licenses that are costly and can be optimized, associated with the AWS infrastructure that is purpose built for the software licenses. Again, we have patches and configuration management and all the operational processes that are involved in as a part of management of the infrastructure, IT infrastructure or legacy systems. We have scalability constraints. When we see higher traffic to the systems, to the applications, to the web portals, then it is difficult for us to faster our processes to implement the modern security controls basically. So when we talk about scalability and security, there's always a chance of vulnerability to cyber attacks, and it enables to more, it makes the systems to more vulnerable to cyber attacks basically. So we again have the operations and managements that IT teams spend more time troubleshooting than innovating complex system maintenances, and legacy systems struggle to connect with the modern apps, cloud tools and analytics platforms that we have. So again, so we in next part we are going to cover AWS migration and modernization overview. What exactly happens in the AWS migration and modernization? When we say what it is, what steps are associated with and involved, particularly in that. So we have assessment and planning of the processes and workloads. We have application and database migrations. To talk about modernization applications and data and analytics modernization. So these are the typical aspects where the migration and modernization comes into picture and helps your businesses achieve the tangible results of modernization and migration. So in assessment and planning, we use AWS Migration Hub to track the application migration process. We have AWS Application Discovery services, that helps understand the on-premise workloads. We have AWS database migration services for seamless database transfer. We have application migration services for the automated application migrations. Again, we have some renowned technologies like AWS Lambda for serverless compute, AWS container systems, AWS Kubernetes systems for containerized workloads, for AWS App Runner for fast web deployments. And when we talk about data and analytics modernization, we have the optimized and purpose-built Redshift AWS Glue that help organize the processes for data analytics. We have Amazon QuickSight that delivers interactive dashboards for fast and data-driven insights. Again, we have security and compliances, automating and monitoring, and business outcomes that are associated with migration and modernizations. So in security and compliance, we have to manage identity and access in the web application firewall that prevents any sort of technical, any sort of vulnerabilities that are coming in, the threats that are associated with the security and compliance. To name a few. Threats, we have DDoS, we have bad agents, we have bad bots that are there, always to give you some sort of threats to your on-premise data center or maybe workloads that you have that you are running basically. So for access control and threat protection, and we also associated services like configurations and CloudTrail to ensure the compliance and track changes for the audit readiness. So what it does is it manages your operations, your processes, your activities, and your logs within the systems, very effectively, very efficiently, and in a articulated manner, so that you'll be able to access to the logs and trails whatever you have made in the past at a real-time basis. So in automation and monitoring, AWS Cloud Formation helps deploy infrastructure quickly and reliably. So Amazon Cloud Watch monitors apps and logs to detect issues quickly. So again, when we say business outcomes, we always resonate with faster deployments, lower operational costs, improved scalability, and enhanced innovation for your business. And migration and modernization is one of the aspect that enables for your business to achieve all of those things without adding the complexities and without adding the costs associated with the processes. So key AWS services for migrations. We talked about the migrations, the value points that are associated with these business outcomes associated with the AWS migration, and what it enables for the businesses to achieve with migrations and modernizations. So now how we can do that, and what are the services at the part of migration and modernization processes. So we have assessment and planning, we have data analytics and modernization, we have services and database migration, automating the monitors, automation and the monitorings, modernization and cloud native services, security and compliance. To name a few services, we have AWS Migration Hub, AWS Application Discovery Services for the assessment and planning. We have Amazon Redshift and AWS Glue, the Amazon QuickSight for the data analytics and modernization. Again, we leverage AWS database migration services and AWS server migration services to migrate the server and database migrations, to migrate the operations on a cost-effective manner. We use AWS Cloud Formation, Amazon Cloud Watch to automate and monitoring the workload and monitoring the migration processes. Again, we have AWS Lambda and Fargate are the part of compute systems of AWS modernization processes to evolve from the typical compute processes from elastic compute services to highly evolving AWS Lambda and Fargate. Again, we have a similar kind of service which we call as ECS and EKS, which provides you a highly elastic environments for your sensitive and customer-facing applications and portals. We have in security, we use the services such as AWS IAM. We have web application firewall and shield, which protects your systems from the vulnerabilities that are coming in cyber security threats. We have also AWS Config and CloudTrail to manage and optimize your cloud compliance related processes. And it also enables your teams to prepare for the audits in highly efficient and highly effective manner. So modernization with AWS and cloud native innovation is typically typically enables for your businesses to adapt to the more lucrative systems, and that enables your businesses to achieve more outcomes within the lower time frames, and maybe within not focusing upon the major threats of cyber protection, cyber security, and the other threats associated with it, basically. So this is the core vision and core objective for us to modernize and migrate to AWS from on-premise data center and legacy systems. So we have AWS Lambda, ECS, EKS, and AppRunner that deploys apps instantly to reduce the server management time, and by around or by nearly 70%, and that enables for your team to focus upon the productive systems or productive work, or instead of just focusing upon the application management or infrastructure management. So we have a very flexible or elastic microservices architecture that breaks your monolithic applications into services that releases updates faster with 45% of fewer errors in the way you are presently deploying and releasing your features for your applications. we have data analytics and data analytics related modernizations. For that, we leverage Redshift, Glue, and QuickSight that help analyze your data 40 to 60% faster and gets your team real-time insights, which are very accurate in terms of just relying on the traditional or conventional data real-time insight generation systems that we have in place. So again, we automate and security, automation and security. We leverage CloudFormation, CloudWatch, IAM, Web Application Firewall, and Shield. That are the advanced automation technologies that automates the tasks, cut security-related risk, and ensure your systems are, achieving 99.9% uptime, and the applications and systems are available for the customers to access on all the times. So typically we have these kind of use cases which creates higher impacts for your businesses when we talk cloud migration, when we consider the migration and modernization from the legacy systems to cloud infrastructure that are elastic and that is scalable. So here we have categorized industry-wise use cases that could be highly impactful for one-to-one use cases, and what greater it brings in that particular institution or organization. When we talk about healthcare, we have patient records, imaging workloads, telemedicine apps that enables hospitals, hospitals and clinics to provide the patients to connect with the doctors and connect with the real, healthcare providers on real time to get the insights on their medical related problems. If we talk about the use case associated with, we can migrate the electronic medical records systems that are there in the hospitals that enables remote consultations. And when we talk about the impact of that particular use case, we will be able to achieve 50% faster access to the patient's data, and maybe it helps improve the overall delivery of the care, the way they are delivering the care to their patients at present using the legacy systems. When we talk about financial systems, it is all about the transaction processing securely, and what's the use of fraud detection is. Fraud detection is over here is basically the fraud detection enables your financial institution to provide the transactions very securely to your customers without getting into the risk associated with it, which is always there in terms of breaching of the transactions and having the fraud transactions. So real-time payment processing and risk analytics is what we have in the use cases basically for this kind of financial institutions. So that enables faster transactions by 5x, and reduced fraud detection and fraud processes basically for the financial institutions and technology companies. So in SaaS, we have web applications, APIs, and microservices. So in that we have multi-tenant app hosting, auto-scaling services that helps SaaS businesses lower the downtime by about 70%, and to adopt the scalable user bases for their SaaS applications. So in educational institutions, they have e-learning platforms and analytics, and online course deliveries, performance trackings. So what they can achieve with cloud infrastructure is faster content delivery, which could be around 3x as compared to the traditional delivery of the content. Better students engagement, which is what we enable with the use of modernized infrastructure and trending technologies. So in retail, which is all about the inventory systems, e-commerce apps, that enables retail businesses to achieve faster order fulfillment and improved customer experience for their customers. In manufacturing, IoT sensors and production monitoring is the critical workloads. It requires the predictive maintenance for smart delivery, smart factory operations. So it helps reduce the operation. It helps reduce the downtime associated with the production monitoring and IoT sensor operations, and it optimizes the production environments. So why we migrate and modernize systems with AWS is basically to achieve the impacts of cloud migration and modernization. So here we have measured impact associated with the use cases, associated with the industry, and associated with the pillars that we have. Yeah, that we have in our industry segments. So we have cost optimization, performance improvement, agility and innovation, scalability, security and compliance, operational efficiency, customer experience, and we have associated business benefits and measured ROI and impact associated with it. So we can achieve up to 40% lower operational costs, 2x faster app performance, 5x faster release cycles, handle 10x more traffic without downtime, handle 10x more traffic without downtime, and 60% reduction in manual efforts, 30% boost in user satisfaction for the measured ROI and impact. So here are some security and compliance related best practices in cloud. We use AWS identity and access management and AWS SSO single socket organizer to manage secure least privilege access across users and apps. We use threat detection and protection for enabling the threat detection and protection. We use AWS WAF, Shield Advanced, and Guard Duty to block the attacks and detect threats in real time. So we for data protection and compliance, we use AWS KMS to ensure the compliance visibility, and using the cloud trails and configuration, AWS config. So to centralize the monitoring and governance, we use AWS Security Hub and well-architected framework to monitor security posture and enforce best practices across the accounts. So innovating with cloud-native architectures, we have some architectures that are that are more efficient in itself and more effective in terms of delivery of the workloads. So serverless compute, event-driven architecture, containerization and orchestrations, continuous delivery and automation, observability and optimization, modern database and storage. Here these are some cloud-native platforms that we have enabled for the businesses, and that you can leverage for your businesses to transform for your monolithic applications to cloud-native platforms and cloud-native architectures to achieve greater business impact. So here are some real-time and real-world success stories that we have achieved with some of the customers, and they have and the way they have transformed their operations, legacy operations, to modernize with AWS. So we have worked with a global manufacturing company that were recently storing their data and databases in the US East region, and we've migrated that data to the Mumbai region, which fulfills the requirement of the data residency in India, which is a part of compliance and brings the lower latency for Windows-based workloads for their customers, which were the primarily Indian customers basically. So this was the overview of that customer and why it was required to migrate from the data from other region to the region that is a part of the India region. Yeah. Next, we have migrated. How Cloud.in has helped them basically is they have helped them with migration associated with the entire setup to a new AWS account in Mumbai region. Then we leverage few services in EC2, IDS, S3, and load balancers. And the significant success we have achieved for that particular organization was we have completed the migration in 12 weeks, which is the significant leap when we see migrations processes that are happening from legacy systems to the on-premise data centers, ensuring the cost effectiveness, ensuring the scalability, ensuring the compliance and security. So ensured a smooth transition. We ensured the smooth transition and with minimal disruption to the daily operations, basically. And there were a few benefits that are associated with the systems, which were zero downtimes during the migration. Data now resides in the India, meeting the compliance requirement, faster performance and low latency for Indian users. Mumbai region provides global compliance standards similar to other AWS regions. Yeah, so these are some again strategic advantages that enables for your businesses to for moving your legacy systems to AWS and modernize the workloads that you have presently that are typically based on the monolithic architecture. So reinforcing the business impact that it can achieve and enable for your business. Reducing the operational cost by 30 to 40% with pay-as-you-go pricing and right sizing, launching the new features 5x faster, handling the 10x traffic spikes without downtime and ensuring the high availability, achieving the 40 to 60% faster analytics and real-time insights for our business decisions, ensure 99.9% of uptime, reduce security incidents by 50% and meet global compliance standards. Reduce manual efforts by 60 to 70% and improve the deployment reliability and monitoring. Also improve the latency for users, ensuring the data residency compliance across geographies. Yeah. So we have seen how AWS migration and modernization can transform your business, how it helps achieve the business outcomes and create the greater impact for your businesses to your customers. But here the real question is that how we can get started. But here we have set the processes we have that meet to the compliances, meet to the security, and following the cost effectiveness. So here are a few steps that enables for us to migrate seamlessly from on-premise data centers and legacy systems and modernize your applications to achieve the greater performance. So here we assess and plan is the first step that is associated with that, and then we do the data and automation that is associated with that. We secure and monitor and optimize the processes and workloads and the data that is associated with the migration and modernization. And then we finally migrate and modernize with the help of the services that we have securely. And we help businesses to achieve the cloud native transformation with the so this is what typically involves and associated with business transformation by moving from your on-premise data centers, legacy systems to cloud infrastructure on AWS. Here we bring the conclusion. We bring to the conclusion of this particular presentation. Now we will be opening a windows or maybe a slot for you to have the question and answer sessions. And we will try to address you the questions that you might have. That is, those are associated with migration, modernization, business transformation, or anything related to the cloud infrastructure. So I would request everyone that is a part of this session to raise your electronic hand to ask the question, or maybe put the questions into the chat box. And we will take a couple of minutes to address your queries and questions that you have for the next few minutes. All right. So feel free to ask anything that might comes up later in comes up later. So we will be yeah. Yeah, all right. All right then. Thanks a lot for taking out the time. And yeah, so please scan the QR code to submit your feedback and responses that you might have for this session. Thanks again for your time and looking forward to continuing the conversation. I see that there's a question coming in from 𝗪𝗰𝗶𝗀𝗃.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, 𝗪𝗰𝗶𝗀𝗃.
Hi, Kuldeep. Thank you for the session. Uh, to host LLM in the AWS infra, what are the options apart from the GPU? Or GPU is the only option?
Apart from the, could you repeat that?
GPU, what other options are there?
So,
Or GPU is the only option? Because GPUs are expensive.
Hi, 𝗪𝗲𝗶𝗃, Vimal this side.
Hello.
Can you hear us, 𝗪𝗲𝗃?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, can you please repeat your question because your voice is not so clear.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is that, let's say any open LLM to host an AWS infrastructure, then what what is the option? So do I need GPU or there are other options? Those are cost effective.
Okay. So you are asking like any LLM model you want to host, right? So what are the options? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. 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 So basically, LLM, basically large language model. If you see that if you want to host any LLM, maybe it is an open source. So first thing, if you go in a AWS context, so LLMs are available in the service called the Amazon Bedrock, right? So basically, these are the foundation models. So you can access all these LLMs with the help of API based. So that is the one option. And if you want to host, then the option is EC2. So that's a virtual machine which you can host.
Okay, so you are suggesting Bedrock service?
Yes, we are suggesting Bedrock
Okay.
service. So there are the foundational model available. If you talk about
Yeah.
the Meta, maybe the AWS LLM or maybe on Anthropic. So there are different options which are available in Amazon Bedrock.
I'm
So
aware
you
of that
can you
service,
can
but if I want to host something on my own,
so then the option is EC2. There's a virtual machine you can take and host your LLM.
yeah, EC2 in EC2 there are multiple options. So I was asking that cost-effective option.
If you want to take a cost-effective solution, then again there are the options you can use like the container-based or microservices, right? Docker-based. Maybe Kubernetes you can also take. You can deploy LLM.
Sorry, Docker based.
What I'm saying, you can use Kubernetes services for hosting your LLMs. But again, there are the things for that. So even, again, it's become a cost effective, and it depends on what and how much parameters your LLM is trained on. So and how much the compute does it require, right? So on that basis, you can take the CPU or the GPU, whichever is required, right? And then there are the option in the AWS. on the basis of like which it is being used. So if you want to explore that how effectively you can use or host the LLM on the AWS services, then what we can do, we can set up a call separately and we can discuss that.
Okay, sure.
Right. So make sure that you drop your email ID or maybe address on the with, that window so that we can connect with you separately for that.
Okay, sure.
Okay. You have any other question, Ravani?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again for taking out the time. Looking forward to staying connected and continuing the discussion. So here we conclude the session for the day. Thank you and have a good day.